Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. My name is Ashley Rhianne and I'm a Vancouver-based Pilates instructor and belly dance performer and instructor. And today I'm here to go over the first 6 weeks of postpartum in terms of doing some gentle movement, mobility that is Pilates based. So I am currently 8 months postpartum. I had my son on Christmas Eve of 2021. And it was a crazy journey. I know some of you were doing my pregnancy videos, and I haven't actually had a chance to do any postpartum because I have been crazy busy being a mother. So I'm so happy to be able to bring you some series of Pilates work today. So with my personal journey, my son was in a frank breech position, which I found out at about 34 weeks. And at 37 weeks, it was confirmed that he was still in that position. So I went and had an assessment by an OB who thought that he would be able to turn by doing an ECV. I did go and do the ECV, and my son was very stubborn and did not want to move. And so I ended up having a C-section, which was definitely not on my birth plan at all. It was really disappointing to me initially to have to go that route because I wanted to really experience labor. However, it was determined that that would be what was best for me and the baby, and so I had a C-section. And so my recovery wasn't super difficult for me personally, but I had to really take things quite slow because of the fact that I had this major abdominal surgery. And I really made sure that I took my time. I am somebody who really likes to push, myself, and I have a lot of goals and I'm very motivated. However, I did realize that if I pushed myself really hard in the postpartum period, that could lead to some setbacks later. So if you are watching this and you're in the early days of postpartum, I just really want to emphasize to you is just to really be patient, take your time, and just give yourself a lot of grace. It can be a very overwhelming experience. Especially, our bodies don't look the same, and I didn't even recognize my body. But for the first 3 weeks, honestly, I didn't even care. I was just so in the thick of everything and so in love with my son. It was like the last thing on my mind. But what I would like to do with you today is kind of go over what I did for the first 6 weeks. And please make sure that you've checked with your medical professional, that you are cleared to do any kind of these exercises, especially when you're in the 4 to 6 week range. Most checkups happen within the 6 weeks, but if you are seeing a doctor or a midwife somewhat regularly during those first 6 weeks period, just make sure that you are safe and you feel physically able to do some of these exercises. So I'm going to start with day 1 to 2 weeks. All I did literally was deep breathe, and I would deep breathe all the time. When I was in the bathroom, when I was breastfeeding, when I was, just kind of like chilling out, holding my son. I really wanted to get this going because Pilates deep breathing, it really helps strengthen and engage the deep core muscles. We don't breathe properly. We're not taught to breathe properly in our day-to-day lives. We don't inflate and engage our rib cage and all the muscles within our core system. We breathe a lot in our chest because it's an automatic system, so we don't want to have to think about breathing. And so just taking the time to breathe not only will help strengthen and help your recovery, but it also will bring fresh oxygen throughout the blood. So especially if you have healing to do, if you've had an episiotomy, if you've had a C-section, we want to get fresh blood going to all those incision sites. It helps us also calm down and just find that moment of stillness. And so what I would like us to do is we're going to do this in 2 different ways. We're going to do the sitting up first, and then we're going to lie down. And so you can stay cross-legged if you like. I am going to turn to the side, and I'm going to open my legs quite wide. So if you've had a baby, you're going to have, you're still going to have your uterus, which is quite expanded. And so you want to really just have the legs wide enough to allow for everything to feel really comfortable. And you can just lean forward. And then if you're gonna lean forward, you can either rest your head on something, or you can just place your head in your hands. And this is commonly what I would do when I was sitting on the floor. if I didn't have my son. And close your eyes. And I just want you to take a minute just to settle. So I want you to feel the feet on the floor, feel your hips, feel the heaviness of the shoulders, feel the head in your hands, soft face. Now from here, I want you to feel your ribs on your knees. I want you to feel, your back ribs and also your side ribs. So they're kind of floating in space. But I just want you to kind of really pay attention to that three-dimensional landscape of those ribs. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel those ribs inflate in all three directions, front, side, and back. As we exhale, we're going to blow out through pursed lips. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale through pursed lips. Deep breath in. Exhale. And again, deep breath in. And exhale. We're going to continue this on the floor. The reason why we're blowing out through pursed lips is we're adding a little bit of resistance to our exhale. That little bit of resistance is going to automatically engage our transverse abdominal system, which is the deepest set of core muscles in abdominal muscles in our body. And that little bit of resistance is going to just kind of automatically kick them into engage. It's very gentle. It's very, very slow, but it's going to teach your muscles to kind of regroup and just to kind of learn how to kind of brace again. From here, take your fingertips, place your fingertips on your ribs, your hands on the sides of those ribs, and then feel your back on the floor, nice long neck, feel the feet on the floor, open the shoulders, allow the floor to hold you. Allow the belly to be nice and soft, take a nice deep breath in. Allow the belly to rise, ribs to separate, and exhale. Gently draw those ribs together. Inhale, open the rib cage. Exhale. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. And last time. Beautiful. So if you're weeks 2 to 4, we're just going to continue with the breathing. So let's have the hands resting down by our sides. Take a nice deep breath in. We're going to do 3 breaths here. Take your fingertips, place them on your lower belly. We're going to do a little bit of lower body engagement, so pelvic floor engagement. So take a nice deep breath in. Now as we exhale, I want you to feel the lower belly tighten. So I want you to pull the lower belly in slightly away from your pants as your ribs draw together. So think about belly button coming to spine. Then inhale, let everything be loose. And exhale, gently drawing the belly button in, drawing those ribs together. Inhale, relax. Two more. And last one. Lovely. Let's log roll to the side. and press ourselves up. So with the deep breathing, once you know the concept of the rib cage expanding and then being able to gently draw the ribs together, pull that belly button in away from your pant line, you can do this literally everywhere. So like I was saying, I was doing it while I was like on the toilet, when I was breastfeeding. And I did this up to about 8 times a day. And I would do usually cycles of between 5 to 8, depending on how I felt. And it was just a really good way to wake everything up. From here, we're going to continue with the breathing, but we're going to involve the pelvic floor a little bit more. So I want you to picture like a blueberry at the base of your vagina. So as we inhale, I want you to think about your pelvic floor kind of opening around that blueberry. And as we exhale, think about the walls of that pelvic floor gently wrapping that blueberry, pulling it up and in towards the diaphragm. As we inhale, we gently place it down. And as we exhale, we wrap around and pull it up and in. It can be a really strange sensation, especially if you have a weakened pelvic floor or even an extra tight pelvic floor. My pelvic floor was very tight, so I had to really work on relaxing. So that inhale, that spreading of the pelvic floor, wrapping around the blueberry, I really tried to visualize as much as I could. So let's close our eyes, roll the shoulder blades back, take a nice deep breath in. Now on the exhale, think about drawing the pelvic floor around that blueberry and drawing it up and in. And just 4 times. Now inhale, gently place that blueberry down, relax the pelvic floor, let everything open. Wrapping around that blueberry, exhale. 2 more, inhale, drop, lower the blueberry, don't drop it. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Lovely. We're going to come back onto our back. So we're going to log roll to the side. So finding that nice side position, and we're rolling on the back. We're going to take our fingertips back towards our lower body, place the heel of our hands on the hip bones, fingertips pointing down towards our pubic bone. Okay? Now, wiggle the hips. I want you to find a neutral spine, so it's heavy in the tailbone. There's going to probably be a light space between your back and the floor, which is great. And we are going to take a nice deep breath in. So feel everything inflate. Now on the exhale, we're going to engage the pelvic floor to draw the blueberry up and in, draw the ribs together, and we're going to gently slide our sit bones towards our heels. We're just going to gently flatten the back on the floor. Inhale, gently release back into our neutral position. Ribs float, belly floats. And exhale, belly button draws in, pelvic floor draws up and in, ribs draw together. We slide the sit bones towards the heels, feel that lower back contract. 3 more, inhale. And 2. And last time. Beautiful. Let's come back into our nice neutral spine. We're going to walk the legs slightly close together. Let's have our hands down by our hips. We are going to do our heel slides. So we're trying to engage the transverse abdominis muscle. This is also going to help close any diastasis recti that you might have in your stomach. Super common after pregnancy. I had 2.5 fingers postpartum, so I've healed that, but it's taken quite a while. So if you want to place a paper plate underneath your foot or like a dishcloth, that totally works. But what we're going to do is I want you to focus on that left side. We're going to flex that right heel, and you're going to slide that foot out straight on the inhale, on the exhale, working from that deep core, pulling everything up and in. Inhale.
Allow that foot to slide out. And exhale. We're going to do 5 of these. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Very gentle movement, but there's a little bit of resistance on the foot. It really, really works. Even now, 8 months postpartum, I'm back to doing most ab exercises, not all of them super well, but even I can feel this. And one more time. And let's switch legs. So that foot comes down. Flex the left heel. Take a nice deep breath in as we lengthen. And exhale, we pull. Two. It's quite sticky on a mat, so if you're able to do this on a carpet or like a tile surface with like a dishcloth, it's much better than what I'm doing it on now. Two more. Find that length, find that heel, actively engage through the core. Lovely, and one more time. Perfect, well done.
So now you're at the 4 to 6 weeks period of postpartum. We usually have our checkups at around 6 weeks. So these exercises are great to do in that lead up to getting that medical clearance by your healthcare professional. Now, do remember that your body has been through a lot, especially if you've had a C-section. It's a major abdominal surgery. However, delivery can be also as traumatic, if not even more. So just make sure that when you go to your 6-week appointment, do know that just because they have cleared you to return to exercise, please do not go like balls to the wall by any means, okay? You have to really start slowly and progressive. So don't just jump back into the activities that you were doing before. Take things really nice and slow. However, in this kind of this window, you can start to do a little bit more challenging things. So we're going to start off with our breathing. So we're going to be repeating everything that we've done from the first 2 sections, and we're going to be adding on a little bit more. So we're going to do 4 cycles of breathing. We're going to do some pelvic floor engagement for 4 times, and then we're going to be going into our pelvic tilt, and we're going to stay on our backs for heel slides, toe touches, and then we're going to end on a 4-point kneel. So if you want to have your hands on your rib cage to start, feel free. If you are just jumping to this section of the video and you're not familiar with the Pilates breathing, please go back to day 1 to 2 weeks so that you can learn how to engage the core system through breath work. So here we go. Take a minute to tap in. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. Drawing the ribs together, gently drawing the belly button in away from your pant line. Take a nice deep breath in. Two more. And last time. Add the pelvic floor engagement. Draw up and in on that exhale. Deep breath in, release. Two more. Last time. Lovely. We're going to come and lie on our back, coming into our pelvic tilt. So we're going to log roll, coming down. Let's start with our hands on our bellies. Fingertips pointing down towards the pelvis. Feet are in line with the sit bones. Upper body is nice and easy.
Take a nice deep breath in, let everything inflate towards the ceiling, open to the sides, feel the ribs on the floor. And on the exhale, ribs drawing together, belly button drawing in. And we're going to press that lower back into the floor. We're going to now change the angle of that pubic bone. Inhale to release. Exhale, belly button drawing in, pelvic floor drawing up and in, gentle depression of the back. Good, 2 more. And last time. Beautiful. Hands coming down by your side. Find that neutral spine. Nice long neck. Relax the jaw. Easy chest. Take a nice deep breath in. Lengthen that right leg out. And on the exhale, we're going to pull it in for 5. Leading with the core. Pull it in for 4. Heel slides. For 3. And 2. Last time. And 1. And left side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, pull it in. That heel's adding resistance. So we're engaging those deep core muscles to help pull that knee back in for 2. And 3. Oops, and 4. So it's harder with a sticky mat. And 5. Beautiful. We're going to leave our knees bent. I'm going to give you 2 options here. You can either come into that nice gentle imprint, so thinking about that small depression of the lower back. This is going to stabilize the core. This is a lot more secure, especially if this is the first time that you're doing this exercise. If you do want to work in neutral, just make sure that you really focus on lifting the knee with that core, because you're not going to be as braced as you would be in this position here. So let's do a few here in this nice braced imprint. Hands down by your side. We are literally using our lower belly muscles to pull the knee up and place it down. We're going to do 5 of these in this braced position on each side, and then we're going to do 5 more in that nice neutral position. So you can see that the angle of my knee does not change. I just tap the floor down, pull it up, and we have 1 more. And let's change. Tap. So we are in that braced position here. Making sure we're breathing. I like to inhale here and exhale. And last time. Finding that neutral position. This was where the breath work is going to be super important. So take a nice deep breath in to prepare. And on the exhale, pelvic floor engages, ribs draw together, belly button draws in for 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. Last time. And 1. Left side. For 5. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful job. Let's log roll to the side. And our last exercise is we're going to do a bit of our transverse abdominis engagement. So we're going to come into a 4-point kneel. So knees and hands on the floor. And all we're going to do is just allow your belly to relax completely. Feel the weight of your organs drawing towards the floor. Now from here, I want you to think about drawing, starting with the lower belly, so right above the pubic bone, pull that whole lower belly line in, and then your belly button, upper abs, waistline, and feel it tighten across your back. And let everything go. Lower belly pulls up, middle belly, upper belly, your sides of your waist draws in, tightness across the back, so you feel in that corset line. Let everything go. Lower belly draws up, mid belly, upper belly, sides of the waist, and your back. And relax. 2 more. This is harder than it looks. And relax. And last time. Beautiful. So I hope that these exercises were helpful for you. These are what I did do up to the first 6 weeks of my postpartum journey, and I've definitely continued with most of them to present day, because these fundamental exercises, they never change, they never go away, and they never really get easier. So I would really encourage you to kind of put these into your recovery toolkit. I absolutely would love to hear about how you found these challenging, where you're at in your postpartum journey. Again, my name is Ashley Rhianne, and you can find me on Instagram at Ashley_Rhianne_Ricasa. You can also check ashleydance.com for a list of my belly dance classes and also Pilates classes. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you all the best on your postpartum recovery, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.